Welcome to another fine edition of Who's That Anime? And this week we're talking about Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, the Netflix original anime movie, or so they claim. I've
Yeah,
mentioned have mentioned a few times, at least this is what they're claiming is Shaman King is a Netflix original, but that came out 20 years ago on
yeah. Next, they'll be claiming that uh, old movies are theirs as well. I was trying to think of an old movie there, one in particular, and for some reason my brain didn't work.
Aliens.
I was going for more
Casablanca.
Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane. That's the one I was trying to think of.
Citizen Kane. Did they ever make a short movie of 1984?
I don't know. Citizen Kane, a Netflix original.
Yeah, sure. Pardon me. Jeez, got all the
Oh
parts in
dear.
there.
So yeah, you can. I am miraculously able to record today, as I was so sure I would have completely broken my machine when transferring it from one case to another.
Yeah, I am amazed that you did it all in one go. All in one
Well, I
go.
mean, it took like 3.5 hours, but I got there.
They can do. They can do. As you meticulously had to decable everything and take everything out.
Yeah, my case is now too good for my motherboard.
It's too good for your motherboard.
Yeah, there's a USB-C 3.1 port on my new case,
Oh.
but my motherboard doesn't have a connector for it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
Oh, it's fine. What you got
Yeah.
is a nice case to get to see all your RGB lights.
Yes. Although one thing I will say that is very nice about this case
Uh-huh.
is that there's like a whole inch of space behind the motherboard seat
Uh-huh.
to hide the cabling.
Well, yeah, that's a big thing these days. Like I think,
Oh my god, what a different like it made me realize that when I bought my case, which I realized was almost 10 years ago, it was cheap dog shit when I bought it then. It was the
yes.
cheapest case I could find with USB 3 on it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't generally buy expensive cases myself.
Well, I think that one was 75.
That's premium right there.
It's I think I paid like 30 for my first one.
Mm.
And
But-
I, I wanted to be sure I got something that had a decent star rating, but also definitely fit the graphics card.
Yeah, those are big chunky boys these days. Well, the one
Jesus
you buy
wept.
anyway.
Like the one you have right now is the one I used to have.
Mhm.
I thought that was a big bad boy because I think it replaced my was it it was an 860 or something I had
Uh-huh.
before I had my 1060, and I had a 550 before that. Those were children compared to the behemoth.
Oh, the 360.
It's insane. Like it's got three massive fans. It's about 3 inches thick.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
absurd, and it uses all of the PSU connection points. It's all 16 pins of power.
Got to get that power in there, man.
Thank God I had a modular PSU. Otherwise, I'd
Yes.
have been fairly screwed. Um, but yeah, very surprised that the shock for me was managing to get the jumper pins in for the power correctly first time.
What?
I think every time I've put a PC together, that's the step I've messed up every single time.
What? As in like the connections, the ATX
Yeah.
connection thing.
Oh no, like the little tiny jumper pins.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for the power buttons.
Yes,
Ah,
every time. Every time I
yeah.
put them in, mixed up the wrong way around, or like I just reading the diagram around the wrong way and get confused because for some reason it's like a 10 pin connector
Uh-huh.
or connection point, but they only number 1, 2, 8, and 10 or whatever it is, and it's like, so just I guess that means these numbers are these. Okay, fine, whatever.
Smart. It's generally marked on the motherboard, dude.
It's not.
Every motherboard I looked at has like a big mark out for
Nope, it is literally just the 9 pins of the connector.
them. Got some shoddy motherboard you got.
Has it on the case, like it tells you what they are for the case, obviously, because otherwise it would just be very confusing.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when they didn't.
Yeah, that's
They
more
made
awkward.
the PC building very user friendly over the last 20 years.
Oh man, I
And
remember building or updating the PC I had, which had a Pentium 4 in it, and man, that was significantly more difficult than doing anything with a new PC now.
yeah, it is. It was I remember when those cabling that you were talking about for the power buttons were not encased, so they were separate little connectors.
Oh
Even more
god,
fiddly. Even more, it's like milking a cow,
electrically.
electrically milking a cow, sticking
I
it in.
fortunately never had to do that, but I did
Milk,
have to
milking a
mess
cow.
about with plenty of either of those things. Uh, but I fortunately I think the worst was dealing with IDE cables and all that
Oh,
bullshit.
ID cables, getting them out of bloody things are a pain in the ass because
Jesus,
there's nothing to grip
pliers,
on.
man,
I
pliers. The
was
number of
building
hard drives and motherboards I nearly wrecked
because
trying
you
to get
just
those things out.
yeah yeah or sat you just breathe on and just fall out. You just,
Yes, I did notice that. I noticed, in fact, like the big motherboard, the ATX power cable,
Mhm.
like cause it's that big chunky braided thing that comes out of the
Yeah.
PSU. And
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, okay, plugged it in, and then started maneuvering the cables around, and then went back round, and it had just come unplugged again. It was like, just the tension on that chunky cable kept ripping it back out when I was trying to readjust.
Oh Jesus, man. Jesus, you don't want that to fall out. That's like the whole like motherboard going.
It's it's fine. It's fine now. I've made it so that there's no. It was just because I was trying to get the idea of how much length there would be to make it look neat on one side and not so much on the other.
Mhm.
Once I got the distance on it, it's fine. So
Yeah, that's good. I remember back in the days with the SATA and stuff, PCs. If you ripped like the power cable out of something, like say like your optical drive,
yeah,
uh, while it's on, because you know that's safe, highly
yeah, yeah,
safe. Uh,
yeah.
the motherboard and power supply don't equate the loss of connection as such, so it still tries to drag that same amount of power.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty
oh
sure they
dear.
did. Could be lying, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not like I ever did it. Maybe
No,
once.
no, no. We did set a graphics card on fire once.
Yeah, I think hearing that's quite easy to do.
Well, on the newer ones, certainly. I can't remember how we managed to do it. I think we just plugged it in and it just like one of the resistors just popped.
I plugged it in while it's still powered. The PC was still powered on.
I mean, I think we may have done that, but
That's
it
not going to
was it
help.
was already it was already nearly done.
Yeah, yeah, that's one way to look at it. That's just to make you feel better.
I think it was that my first proper own PC? Maybe I feel like that was a GeForce 4.
Oh God, GeForce
Yeah,
4. Wow.
yeah. My first PC was a GeForce 4 with I want to say it was a Pentium 4 2.8 hyper threading processor,
Ooh, hyper-threading.
and oh shit, what was the is it 256 megabytes of RAM? maybe.
something like that. It would be. I doubt it'd be a gigabyte at that point.
It wasn't a full gig, I know, because when I was in halls, somebody in my halls got a gigabyte of RAM, and it was like, oh my god.
Ah, it's such a beast. Gigabyte of RAM.
It was at the
Now, now,
time.
yeah. Now, how much RAM you got in your machine?
32.
32 times a gigabyte.
Yeah,
It's like when you
in
look
the
at your
span
phone.
of in less than 20. Yeah, I've got like maybe 6 gig on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, like, well, the computer was invented in essentially Second World War.
Yeah, like late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What's his name? Turing is the man credited for it. Well, creating his Enigma
Alan
cracking
Turing.
machine. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
but also there's Charles Babbage who invented the Manchester Baby, which is a mechanical computer. That was in the 1920s, I think.
Charles Babbage. Wasn't I talked about in Lain? Did they not mention that guy
Probably, yeah.
in that
But
whole
yeah,
episode about the dolphins?
yeah, actually they may have done. Yeah, Charles Babbage invented the Manchester Baby, which was a mechanical computer.
Nice.
Yeah,
Manchester baby.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was called the
It
Manchester
just,
Baby.
it just sounds so wrong.
Yeah,
Just
Manchester.
being from well, being from Britain, where Manchester was.
Oh, maybe I'm getting them confused.
Eh, it's not like people come here for any factual information.
No, I mean they definitely don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh oh god, I was way
well,
out.
what's it called?
So it was a design for an analytical engine. I don't think he ever built it. It was the 1830s.
Ah, right, yeah, yeah. And then probably the same crowd that Alan Turing kind of worked on since.
Yeah, it says a century later, 1936, mathematician Alan Turing published his description of what became known as a Turing machine in 1936. So you weren't that far out. I was a whole century out. So
Yeah, that's all right. And then yeah, and computers came about. Anyway, welcome people
what are we going to
to
talk
Who's
about?
That Anime, where we talk about old computers
Computers.
and stuff, and not what you're thinking that is all about.
Yeah, what we've very cleverly created a frame for this episode, the video episode, that has the words bubble up like soda pop title with the characters on it, and we're just going to talk about Alan Turing.
Yeah, he was a great man who's wrongly done by because of laws.
Sure, fucking was.
A war hero,
Let's
pretty
not go too
much.
far down that road, but let's say, for example, he was maybe chemically castrated by the government.
Well, he took that option over
He took that option
again.
because he was gay. It's not.
Yeah, but like,
You're
was there not
talking
like
about
a?
shitty ends of the stick.
Oh, yeah, you had chemical castration or is it hanging? Was the other option you had?
Well, I mean, yes, but to be fair, maybe those are not the options they should give the gay guy because he's gay.
Yeah, and
Maybe you
also
should
not
just,
the.
yeah. Maybe not the greatest prescriptive views on homosexuality in that era.
Yeah, it's only took 50 years for him to be exonerated or something stupid.
It's absurd. Like,
Fucking-
how depressing. Anyway, uh, the UK government fucked up. Fuck them.
Yeah, well, they still had
They're
hanging up to
continuing
the
to do it.
70s. Pretty sure,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we
Definitely,
stopped that.
our parents were around when the last hanging happened.
No doubt.
Good
Anyway,
lord.
let's get into
So
something
yes,
more happy. And
anime. This is our palate cleanser episode.
hmm,
We
yes,
finished up on Serial Experiments Lane. We had a bit of an existential crisis in the last episode, but I think we made it. Um,
It's a total mindfuck.
it is. It is.
Literally, it makes no sense even at the end.
Yep.
Maybe it makes a
I've
bit of
tried to
sense at
make
the end.
sense of it.
Yeah, and then you were in a you went to the insane asylum for the last week.
Yes. Well, as I said when we were recording the last episode, it was like, I didn't think any of this at the time, but we're going to talk about this now because I've just thought of it. That
Yeah,
was very much the flow of that information.
but
So
you
yeah,
really need to get the Char Charlie Day's
oh, the
insane
springboard.
stringboard series. I mean, like that's how crazy serial experiment Lain is in trying to understand it, I think.
True story. True story.
Yeah. So
Um,
now
yes.
let's talk about this one, which is
Now for
words
something
pop.
completely different.
Mm, not Monty Python.
Yes.
Words bubble up like soda pop. Uh, like
Yes.
like I said in the start, is a Netflix original anime movie. Questionable.
Based on a manga.
Based on the manga, is it? Oh,
Apparently, I did not realize that
huh.
until I was looking up images for the images for this frame.
All
Um,
right.
apparently, it's based on a I think a 3 book manga.
Yeah,
So
sounds about right.
yeah,
Uh, so let's get into it.
yep.
So uh, we have our two like main characters, Cherry and Smile.
Mm-hmm.
Cherry being a dude who likes haikus,
Does
and
it's got a special dictionary.
oh, he's got the special dictionary, yeah, and he's can't remember what they actually might say what it's called, but I can't remember what it's called.
They do. I cannot remember what it's called.
Haiku dictionary. Here it
Yes,
comes.
he's got a special haiku dictionary.
Um,
Uh,
Saigon or something? No, that
uh,
isn't that the capital of North Korea.
Maybe. No, that's Pyongyang.
What's Saigon then? Ask Steve the question so you can look it
Vietnam.
up.
I
Oh,
think it's the old name for Vietnam. Sorry, it's the old name I think for Ho Chi Minh City
right, yeah.
in
Okay,
Vietnam.
in Vietnam. Oh,
Yes, he has a
that's
special haiku dictionary. Um, he is, for all intents and purposes, a quiet and reserved teenager. I'm going to assume,
mhm.
uh, who works with the elderly.
Yeah. He works in like a elderly daycare center, it seems,
Yeah, in a mall.
which is associated in a mall.
Yes, malls have everything.
Well, they do. Not in this country.
Yeah. No, no, they have
Oh,
nothing in this country now.
well,
There's no Gap,
well,
there's no Debenhams, there's no Disney Store.
wait, what happened to Debenhams? When did that shut down?
It's they're out of business.
When?
I mean, initially about 4 years ago, and then finally maybe 6 months, 7 months ago.
All right. I totally did not pay attention.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
who would care? It's Debenhams, but
I used to have gaming there, the game store.
it did. It did.
Yeah.
And then they
I
closed it,
bought
and then I stopped going in.
yeah, R-Type Final. I bought R-Type Final there because they mispriced the full price of it. It was like 20 quid.
I think I played Guitar Hero for the first time on the demo unit in there.
Oh, nice. It was a good little like out the offbeat and not so busy that because no one knew about it because hidden in the back of
It was
Debenhams.
literally about a 2 minute walk from my old flat as well.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it was just fall down that hill in through the back doors and bang
Yep.
in game. Don't you need to go
Yeah,
through the
that's how
clothes
I ended
store?
up with a PlayStation 3 one hungover morning.
Jesus. I'm going to buy a PlayStation 3 because I'm hungover.
It was a decision that had been percolating for a couple of months. And I was like, ugh, I'm going to do it.
Oh well. I just got mine free off my flatmate. Because I
Oh,
do,
because it doesn't have the disk drive, right?
yeah, no, the working disk drive. So that'll be fun in a couple of months when they close the store.
It's not closing, though.
Just making it worse, apparently. I'm
They're just
hearing.
making it more difficult to get stuff from it.
Yeah, well, I said worse.
Yes.
It's not like it's been turned on for like, I don't know, 5 years.
I had mine on not that long ago when they were talking about shutting the store just to make sure I had all the stuff I needed.
I got Tokyo Jungle. That's right.
I have that too.
Yeah. Um,
So yes, in
yeah.
the mall they have everything, and that's where Cherry works, taking care of the elderly.
Hmm. In particular, an old guy
Mr.
who's
Fujikama
Mr. Fujikama, who's
and
senile.
deaf.
Oh yeah, but that's unfortunately the old person stereotype.
My favorite part in this entire film is him going, "Cherry, my boy," when he's like 2 centimeters away from his face.
Is that not,
It's highly entertaining.
is that not like right at the start too?
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. The
Yeah,
timing on it was brilliant.
it is. I thought you said Terry, my boy, because it's literally at
So
the
did I.
start. Yeah, literally at the start because the guy's out wandering looking for his lost record.
Yes, because he's out outside on the field, outside of the mall, looking
Yeah,
for his record. Right?
yeah, and then Cherry's also obviously sent out to fetch him because he's left the daycare center. Like, oh shit, we lost no guy. Better find him before
Yeah.
his kids complain. Uh, and then you got Smile,
Yep.
who
She's
is
a
the lass.
an she's an influencer.
Idol, I believe, is what she calls. She's part of a three-man idol group, a three-person idol group, even because she's obviously not a
Yes.
man.
Yes.
Uh, and she wears a flu mask because she's very
She does.
responsible in this age of COVID.
I was about to say the exact same thing. It's like this is so prescient.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, time. Influencing in the time of COVID. I'm gonna wear this mask.
yeah. Uh, but alas, no, it's nothing to do with
No.
that. It's the fact that she's recently acquired braces, and or she doesn't like her buck teeth, as it were.
Yeah, I think I tried to figure out what order that came in, and I feel like it's because apparently she used to be totally fine with her buck teeth, and then not so much. And I feel like it's maybe the other way around of like she got the braces to try and help fix her buck teeth.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we certainly you're introduced with her, and she's looking in a mirror and going, teeth and
Yep,
stuff like that. And then she's got braces, and she's like, oh no, that's ugly. Don't want that. I know. I'll wear this mask. So she's going around
yep,
robbing people, as she's obviously a thief now with her mask, flea mask on her face. Um.
yes,
Anyway, so she visits the dentist to check on the braces. Who probably
yep.
tighten them up because I believe that's what they do. Not like I ever had braces,
Me
as
neither.
people can tell. Oh, your teeth are perfectly fine. I got like a big tooth that's like should have been taken out when I was like a kid, and I refused to let them take my tooth out, and now it's grown
I mean,
backwards.
that's a fair thing.
Yeah, because it's got
Like,
squished by all the
don't
Miller
please
teeth.
don't take my teeth. Is
Yeah,
a perfectly acceptable way to be.
yeah, the dentist didn't like it. Then go back to that dentist.
Fair, fair. Yeah, I'm gonna get a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th opinion about this backwards tooth potentially. So good
Oh,
luck.
it wasn't backwards at the time. They just knew it was
Oh,
going to grow that way.
oh dear.
But obviously, I was I don't know, 13 or something, 12. Didn't care about it. Not
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 cause you
caring about it.
problems, right?
Not entirely. Does mean that I don't chew very well because they were misaligned. He's got the pearly whites right there. Pearly whites. Mine's stained yellow because all the tea I drink.
Mine, I have
Like
a
shit
little
there.
cap on my
Yeah.
front one. Yeah. Because I pulled a lunchbox out of my bag and smacked myself on the tooth.
Nice. What age were you when you did that?
13, 14.
Oh, nice, nice.
It's a
That
formative tooth age, apparently.
a formative tooth age.
My son just lost another one of his teeth today, actually.
Oh, nice. How much money you got?
The rate of inflation is high, so it's like £5.
£5.
I know, I got like 50p.
Jesus fuck. I
To
think
be
I got
fair, it's
20.
like it's not the end of the world. So
And then it's also my brother's stingy bastard then, because I'm pretty sure he gives my niece and nephew a couple of quid, maybe 2 quid or something.
eh,
But then that's kind of my family. Gets it from my dad.
I'm not that fussed. He's not losing teeth every day, so it could be worse.
Yeah, you haven't coined on to the fact that losing teeth makes some money.
I mean, he has, but he would realize he's like, I can't punch my teeth out. So,
Are you sure about that?
despite coming home from school yesterday with an accident for him because he got hit with a racket in the face. So,
Oh man, what type of racket? Like a tennis racket?
yeah, badminton. So it wasn't too bad.
Oh, they're lightweight.
Yeah, definitely lighter than a tennis racket, I can say.
Yeah. Well, I think I got hit over the head by a hockey stick. It doesn't show at all.
Nice.
Not unconscious.
Oh dear. So we have our main characters introduced.
We did.
Uh,
We better hurry up.
uh, and yeah, like this is not. There's not so much to talk about with this movie if you haven't if you haven't understood by the rambling. Uh, Essentially, he is, I think, like you say, is sort of a quite reserved guy. At the end of his shift, he goes to hang out with his friends who are, I quote me here, Beaver and Japan.
I believe that's their names, or Beeper?
I thought it was Beaver, but okay. Either
Could
way,
be Beaver.
but Beaver is a vandal and who previously vandalized the grandson of the guy that Cherry has been looking after his car out in the car park. He spray painted a haiku on the.
No,
Or
no,
no, it
no.
was no. Sorry, it was just "Here comes tough boy." I think
Yeah.
that's
Well, that's the grandson's name.
it is. Hey, I love
Tough
the way he
boy.
says it. He goes, "Did you put that in his car?" He's like, "Here comes tough boy." It's like, yeah, but you said here, HEAR. That's the wrong here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
I did like the
that.
fact that Tough Boy had his cat with him in the car, though.
Oh, you got to take the cat, man, in his van.
Yeah, cat
That's
was cool.
yeah, Eric. So, not to mention that Bieber also stole one of those life-size carb cutlets of a pop idol of some sort.
He did because this is the I've skipped over the incident.
Yeah, yeah, where the main characters get introduced because they don't know each other
The-
until this point.
no, the meet cute, as I believe it's called.
The meet cute.
Yeah. Uh, so I think essentially like they're both. What's going on? There's a show. going on.
Baby race,
The
highly
baby race,
ethical.
that's it. Baby race. I'm yep, totally not gonna go to prison for that. And yeah, they're both captivated by the baby race, and Beaver or Beeper or whatever his name is has stolen. They found him hiding behind the idol cardboard cutout in the store through the security cameras, and they're like, "There he is!" And he like makes a run for it,
Yeah.
uh,
Well,
escaping the security guard.
yeah. So, yeah, he was. They were watching the security cameras and talking about something. I think they might mention the fireworks show or something that's going to happen, which
Yeah,
happens at the end of it, maybe. Anyway, um, and they went, "Oh, did that life-size cutout of thingy move?" And I was like, "No, don't be stupid." And then he's like, "Ah, Beaver," as he's a known kleptomaniac thief.
thief.
Uh, and anyway, so big chase ensues in the mall
Yep.
after he goes to his friend in Japan to offer him the life-size cutout for sweets.
In exchange for some lollipops.
Yeah, and then
During the running away, he kind of uses it to glide.
yeah,
Uh,
because
and
he's on a
while
skateboard
gliding,
too.
yeah, yes, that's true. While gliding, he bumps into Cherry and causes him to bump into Smile,
Mhm.
and they both drop their phones, which are
Yeah.
in sort of folding cases,
Mhm.
because that's where Cherry keeps his phone and his dictionary next to each other, and Smile keeps her phone in a clamp case as well.
Yeah. Should also note that Smile is like doing a live broadcast, going, "Let's go and look at cute things in my hometown mall." And goes, "Oh, this is so cute! This is so cute!" Then she goes, "Oh, look,
I
there's a
just love the
baby
word
race.
cute.
That's so cute,
Cute.
cute,
Definitely not exploitation.
cute." Yeah. And she also introduced herself as "Smile for me."
Ah.
Yeah, the classic
Yeah. For those of you who didn't see that, that is the peace sign in front of the eye.
like Batman doing his sexy dance in the 1960s.
And then good old Adam
Adam West.
West.
Yeah. Ah.
Yeah. So yeah,
People.
they end up, and then they end up, as do happen in these films, picking up the wrong thing and leaving with the wrong thing.
Yeah. Well, that's mainly because Smile's mask kind of breaks at that point, and the only
Yes, she
thing
ends up
that
running away
Cherry
without
says
them.
to her is braces, and then Smile
Girl,
realizes,
girl with braces.
yeah, and then she also realizes that her mask isn't there, and it goes, "Oh shit!
Yep,
Can't see me!"
yep.
Covers her face and runs away.
Fucking John Cena's herself out of there and just leaves. I
Yeah,
think that, like, imagine though, if you will, a scenario where you bump into someone and the first words that you hear them say are the thing you are the most self-conscious about.
well, I think that's generally what this movie is about, to be honest.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
awkward.
yeah. So that's why she ran away.
Yep.
Uh, and then she picks up her phone, the phone, and you just note that there's a haiku dictionary in
Yep.
Cherry's phone, which makes it twice as thick as her own phone, and it's
It
even
does.
shown that in the scene at the scatter.
Yep.
And she picks up all Cherry's phone, runs away, gets out to the field, and realizes it's her wrong phone, and then runs home to her sisters.
Yeah,
Goes,
it's her
"Oh,
sisters, her older and younger sister.
I think she's the one in the middle, yeah." And the younger sister is a tech whiz, and the other sister is a bit not caring. Caring?
A bit apathetic.
A bit apathetic about it. It's like, oh, where did you last
Yeah.
have it? Uh,
If I knew
Cherry then
that.
Yeah. If I knew that, it wouldn't be lost. Uh, Cherry, on the other hand, is picks up the other opponent's left because he has to, and
Yeah.
puts it away because he was thumbing through his dictionary at the time when the incident happened, and Cherry was Smile was filming the cute baby race, which
Mm-hmm.
was uh,
Cute baby race.
wasn't very well managed because there was a false start.
There was. She was trying. She was trying to tell them. False start. False start. False start.
Yeah, I mean,
Which caused him to look up the dictionary, actually.
oh yeah, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for the synonym of
Pseudonym.
synonym synonym, yeah, false
Pseudonymidnum.
false start.
Yep.
Uh, anyway, so he leaves,
He
takes
goes
the
up
old
to the
man
roof.
back. Yeah, goes up the roof eventually.
Oh no, the grandson comes to pick up the
Oh,
Mr. Fujikama because it's Tough Boy comes to pick him
yeah,
up.
well, Tough Boy essentially bursts into the place and shouts at Cherry like, "Where's Beaver? You know where he is?"
Yep.
And he's like, "I don't
Where's
know." Hint, hint.
he's he's so like non-existent caring. He's like, I don't know.
And then he
Uh,
shows a picture of the graffiti,
yeah.
and he
He's like,
goes, "Oh, that's weird."
yeah, that's spelled wrong.
Yeah, pretty
It's just
much.
like it's just his his apathetic demeanor is delightful. He
Yeah,
gives zero fucks.
yeah. Um. So yeah, they go away and he finishes his job for the day. Clocks out.
Yep,
Uh, showing a clock on the wall with fireworks on it in
yep.
that scene. Not foreshadowing at all.
I didn't clock that until you mentioned it there.
He clocked it. He didn't clock it either. Anyway, yeah. So he did that. Goes up to the roof where Beaver's there with a headless idol, and Japan complaining that it's not the full thing. Even though he's got the full thing, it's just the head's snapped
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
It's like it's not right. That can't be. And then the other guy's like crying over it because he's obsessed with this idol.
And then
As
Beaver is spray painting more haikus, more of Cherry's haikus on the roof.
yeah, misspelling them too.
He is, yes,
Yeah,
because of course. Uh, I think it's at this point where the Smile and her sisters locate the phone and they're like, "Oh, I need to go and get it. It's at the mall. I'll go and get it. I'm gonna go and get it now." And the older sister's like, "What about if we just phone it?"
yeah. Should go phone it.
Yeah, just we should phone it. So then there's this like very adorable three people on either side of the phone situation where the three sisters are all sat around this phone, waiting for it, like dialing it, waiting for someone to pick up, and then of course the group of boys realizing it's like shit, this isn't my phone, and someone's calling it. Oh god! And of course Beaver is the gung ho one who's like, yeah, you're gonna answer it. Pushes the button.
Oh
Talk now,
no,
please.
no, it was Japan.
Oh, it's Japan. Sorry, no, was it Beaver that turns on the video calling?
I think the people turned on the video calling of it, and Cherry's
Yeah,
probably kind of locked up and totally out of his game, kind of like what I would probably
it
be
is.
like.
It's kind of adorable, and
And
I very much liked that. It was very funny.
yeah,
Uh,
and then Japan
just
recognizes who Smile is. So, oh God, it's Smile! Ah! And then
smile for me.
yeah, who basically does live casts on
Yeah, on
Curious.
Curiosity, is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
I think it's
Yeah.
Curiosity, but it can't be Curiosity because it's not the Curiosity that's out there, which is like a learning hub. It
Ah,
keeps
because
you
it's the
informed.
because the live stream thing I think is called Curio Live.
Yeah, I think it is. And It's also
And the
like a
Twitter
Twitter.
equivalent is curiosity.
Yeah, because that's what Cherry uses to post his haikus, and only his mom
Under cherry
follows.
underscore haiku.
Yeah,
His
and
mother
his mom.
Maria, who really likes his haikus.
Yeah, stop doing it, mom. Uh,
She's savage as well. She's like, well, if I don't do it, no one else is gonna like them.
yeah,
It's like,
she's
wow, thanks for that.
good blunt is
Hurtful,
there.
hurtful
Yeah.
much. Jeez.
Anyway, so then that scares the girls. The older sister, I think, hangs up on them because they're like, "Oh
Yep.
fuck, this guy doesn't recognize who we are. Oh, it's scary." Hang up. Sorry, sorry, got
Oh, it's
scared.
so good, so
And
good.
then they call back and also arrange the time. And well, Bieber and Japan argue over stuff, and Cherry finally gets his voice up and goes, "Yeah, I got your phone. Yeah, okay."
Yep,
And then they meet and get the phones
they
back.
do.
You don't actually see that point.
No,
It's kind of
you don't. You just assume they've done
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. You get to see
Uh,
that they have done it, or at least he's either got a new phone, a new haiku dictionary. But I don't think it's that because his dad refers back to
no,
it.
it's his dad's haiku dictionary.
Yeah, it's a good haiku
He's like,
dictionary.
I'm gonna want this back one day. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. His parents are weird. It's like his mum just like kind of puts him down about his talent, and his dad's like, "Well, that thing I gave you, I'm gonna need that back."
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the issue. So, Cherry wears headphones around his
He
neck,
does. This is
and
we're getting to the part now where they're sort of walking together,
yeah,
getting to know each other.
yeah.
Because
Can't remember.
this is the bit where she asks him that, right? Like, what are you
Ew.
listening to? And he's like, I don't really like music.
I wear these so people don't talk to me.
I can.
Yeah. But that's not before there's a scene where he's where they spot him in the mall.
Oh, in the mall, and oh
Well,
yes, this is the other amazing Mr. Fujikama bit.
yeah, yeah,
Because the three sisters find him in the mall, and they see him with I assume like a teacher of sorts or something like that, someone who's coming in to do stuff with the elderly group, and
yeah,
they think that it's his girlfriend or that he's into older women or something like that,
yeah,
and they're writing haikus as a group around the mall,
yeah.
uh, and she makes Cherry read his out loud, and he gets a bit funny about that because obviously he's
Yeah.
very nervous to read it out loud. But on top
Hmm.
of that, he's like, they're not meant to be read aloud. Ugh.
I think he's more angry about that because uh, he's embarrassed. He doesn't like attention.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
wallflower.
yeah.
Just like to
She
be.
the woman makes him read hers out his out because she thought it was good. But
Yeah.
then of course we get to Mr. Fujikama, who talks about the girl in the mask who's hiding,
Yeah.
who's over there. The girl in the mask who's over there.
And points right at them as they hide behind
It's
a glass
so
plane.
good. It's so good.
And then they kind of start like, oh, what? No, no, we're not hiding. Honest, we're just standing here spying on you.
Oh dear. Yeah, definitely nothing going on
And
here.
in the, they were crouched behind like the glass barrier as like they were hiding.
Yeah,
They were getting looks
tough
from
tough
other
times.
people in the mall.
Yes.
There other people passing by were actually going, "What are these clowns? What are they up to?"
Oh
Uh,
dear. So yeah, then we get
anyway,
to the walking bit where they're
yeah.
walking outside.
Mhm. And they tell each other's pretty much the fears, or at least his. It's like, oh, I wear headphones not because I listen to music, but because I don't want people to stop me, and it stops them talking to me.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, that's a
And
clever trick."
yep. And then I think he asks her about the mask, and she fobs that off. Maybe
Oh
getting him
wait,
to say some sort of haiku. It's
yeah, that
like,
was
have
it.
you? And it's like, hey, do a haiku. Sort of the poetic equivalent of do a kickflip. Hey, do a haiku.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
okay.
it. And he's like, "Oh, I can't really do them off the heart," and then he just comes up with one on the spot about
Yep.
streetlights and sun
And she
rising.
says, it's cute.
Yeah, and he's like, "What? What does that mean?"
It's like, it
He,
just is.
I think your voice is cute, she also states, and he says, "What does that mean?"
Yes. Yep. And
And
then
this,
I think we cut on that.
mhm. And then
Um,
he goes home and he starts
they have the
packing.
conversation. Yeah, he just randomly starts packing up, and we're like, of course, we have not understood. He's going to be moving. Apparently, we didn't know that. He's just arbitrarily packing up boxes,
Yeah,
and
and then,
the mom's like, Dad's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just packing stuff. Uh, she's like, well, we're gonna move eventually. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be here
yeah,
soon. Yeah, I guess.
it's a few weeks later. You don't need to pack yet.
Yeah, he seems
And
pretty
then,
intent on it though.
yeah, and then you also learn that the mum's got it's injured her back,
Yes,
and the
he's actually
father,
doing her job, right?
yeah, um, I don't know. We learned that at that point, but yeah, he's doing the job. He's standing in for the daycare center,
The mum. Yeah.
and the father offers to help the mother with chores around the house. And then she says, "Oh, good. Thanks for offering to cook breakfast for us." But I can't cook.
Is the quickest walk back of any offer of assistance ever. It's like, oh, thanks for that. What about it's like, oh, well, you didn't say there'd be that.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think I would do that. Go
Ugh.
shopping and other things. Oh, I guess that's helpful.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
Yeah. Oh no, no. He basically states that, and she
Oh
says,
no, you're
"Okay,
right. Yeah, yes, I suppose that's useful.
that's his comeback."
Ugh.
And then is this the point where where they sit down for a meal? Each family sit down
Yes,
for their
and
meals.
yep, and she likes the hai. He posts the haiku
Mhm.
that he said in front of her
Yeah.
to curiosity or whatever it's called, and she likes that, and he's like, oh no, and has
Girl liked it.
a total freak out.
Yeah. Well, a girl liked my comment. What? And but I like the in Smiles family they get told no phones at the table
Yep.
comment, and then she goes, "That means you too," pointing to their dad because he's on his phone. Uh, And then so Smiles on the phone looking at his haikus, and I think his little sister, essentially, her little sister grabs the phone and basically likes all of his posts,
Yes.
and that sort of freaks out Cherry. No
Yes,
end.
there's a bit of a panic attack going on both sides of the fence.
Yeah. And it's like, "Oh no, what are you doing? Ah!" And then he's like, "Oh no, what? Does she want me to follow her?" So he like nervously follows her in curiosity,
Yep.
and then she follows him back.
Yep. And
And there
then
you go.
I think I think this is where we kind of get into it where the bit in my mind is that this is where they come to visit him at the mall while he's at work,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
and she like is quite good with the elderly people there, and they've just talked about the fact that they're short-handed because the shift changes that they're about to go through.
Mm.
So it seems like Smile ends up with a job working with Cherry at the
So
elderly daycare.
yeah, that's certainly seems like what's happened. So then they become a lot more friendlier over
Yep.
the course of helping it. And the record comes into play again,
Yes.
where where the old man Fujiyama,
Fujikama?
Fujikama.
Maybe it is Fujiyama.
I don't know.
Fact checking never killed podcasts.
It's never
No, it's
killed ours.
Fujiyama. You're right.
It's never killed ours because
Mr.
it's never tried.
Fujiyama.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. So he's still looking for his record. Going, oh, my record.
Yep.
Uh. Oh, should note. No, not yet. Later. Should note later. And then today, I think one of the days he doesn't go. Doesn't get picked up by his family, so they get a
Yeah, he
taxi. So
needs to get the shuttle home with the daycare.
yeah, and that Cherry and Smile take him home, and then find out he lives in a an old record shop with all these vinyls, which is crazy mad for them. They don't understand what vinyl
Tons
is.
of them. Tons of vinyls.
Yeah,
Like thousands of vinyls.
it's insane amount of vinyls. It's almost as good as Groucho's
Yeah.
was.
And it's gone now too.
Yeah, gone were the days when people like vinyl, which is not the
I think it's
case.
more gone with the days. No, like I like vinyl. I literally bought vinyl less than 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Um. So they come with up an idea of like, oh, we're going to find his record that he lost, type thing, and then cue the second act of the movie,
Yeah.
where the
Where they start looking for Yakuzama, which is the name of the. I want to say it's Yakuzama.
yeah,
Yakuzama.
possibly.
Mm,
Anyway, it's got a picture of a girl on one side and then fireworks on the other side.
yes. Well, actually, you don't know it has fireworks on the other side yet.
Oh no, that's not in the sleeve. That's only in the record.
No, so the way it is that they start to do a bit of research about the artist because it seems that I think the daughter of Mr. Fujiyama explains that she doesn't know where the record was. Like he's been looking for it for years, and we sort of find out that the reason that it's important to him is that it is the voice of his wife.
Yeah,
It's his wife's record.
yeah. So that's his
Um,
wife was the
yeah, and
artist.
the daughter never knew her mum because she died during childbirth
Yeah,
or shortly thereafter. And I think it's this. We sort of get that realization that it's like he just wants to hear the music because nowhere else seems to have it. But he's lost this record, so Cherry and Smile make that their mission to find the record. So
mhm.
they do a bit of research and they go about different places. They're in the mall. They go past all of like the fireworks celebration stuff. There's like all that is it 50 plus 56 years or something the celebration has been going on,
Um,
something like that.
something like that because it's basically like a celebration of a factory or something like that.
Yeah, and every year they have fireworks on the front of the poster for the celebration.
Yeah,
But they go to a guy in the record shop in a shop like I think it's like a second hand store or something like that and show him
I
the
think
sleeve.
it's not Japan. I thought it was Japan.
Is it Japan? Did they talk to? No. Yes, you're right. It is Japan because they ask him about that and he's like, oh, that's a picto record type thing. It has a
Hole in
like
the
it has a
sleeve.
picture on the front of it. Yeah, and he's like, he's like, you would know that these are the ones because the sleeves for these used to have a hole in the front so that it would complete the picture. And they're like, oh, it does have that. So then they realize, of course, that what they're looking for is a record with a picture on it. that would be
Hmm.
seen through the front of this cover. Cherry is trying to hunt it down, and Smile is even posting about it, using her media influence to try and see if people know anything about the record or the artist. But
Yeah.
they don't find anything.
Uh,
Um,
sure, someone posts something so because they go on a trip somewhere.
so I think what happens is that if memory serves correct, she does an image search because she thought the picture on the back of it looked cute,
Yeah.
uh, and the dress was clothing from the 50s,
All right. Yeah.
which leads them down like a path to doing the different research, and eventually they end up uh, coming back to the record store again one day, where Tough Boy is there, and they find out that they're going to be selling the record store,
Yeah.
because nobody wants to buy it over. Or they're just giving up basically. Nobody wants to buy it over, so they're gonna take it all down and move out basically.
Yeah. And so they come up with
Um,
the good idea of, well, taking it all away, they can search every record in the store to
yeah,
see.
I think that yeah, the daughter says like I've looked before, but maybe this time it'll be different.
Yeah. Um. Uh. Yeah. That's that. And so they do that. Hot days. Cherry still kind of like hiding her way and having, oh, no, a diet. I'm not going to eat type thing, and then takes her mask off. There's even a scene where she's with her sisters
Oh, and
in a
she's eating with her hand over her mouth.
yeah, and the little sister, is that new
Yeah,
craze or something like that?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
she's definitely self conscious, and then yeah, like you say, she's refusing to eat with the rest of them because not because she's not hungry, but because she just doesn't want to be seen without her mask on.
Mhm.
Um, and
Yeah.
then they look over through the hot days. The air conditioning is broken. Tough Boy tells them to shut up. There's a fan. Get on with it.
Very
Uh,
much.
they get through every record, and then sadly and disappointingly, with the very last one, it's still not the right one.
Yeah.
Oh, we should probably have said part of the reason they do that is because Mr. Fujiyama collapsed.
Oh, yeah. Well, he did, yeah. When I think they took him back, he actually collapsed and
Yeah,
it's been
yeah, and
awfully
that's why
ill.
they sort of went. You know what? We're gonna find this shit
Yeah.
in this record store. But yeah, then it comes the time of like, well, we better just move the rest of the stuff out of here. Like now that all the shelves are empty, there's no more records, and the Tough Boy's mum's like, hey, could you move the fridge? He's like, I'll do it tomorrow. God.
Yeah.
Uh, but earlier on, when um, Cherry was moving stuff in his room,
Hmm.
he found. Uh, I think it was the springtime haiku magazine or something like that had fallen down the side of one of his shelves,
Yeah, one of his old magazines.
and it's the fortuity because I think like buck teeth and cherry blossom or something like that are the same word.
Yeah, as um as the name of the record,
Yeah, which is the name of the record as well. So
which
he was
is
like, "Oh shit!"
I need to stick that in a
So
haiku.
yeah, first of all, of course, they look in the fridge, which I thought was quite funny to see if they can
Yeah,
find the record. And they're
yeah,
like, "No, it's not there."
yeah.
It's like, of course
Well,
it's
yeah,
not.
you never know. The guy wasn't
I
exactly right in
guess.
the head, unfortunately.
No, I guess that's true.
So,
Um,
so
but yeah, he gets the idea to move the fridge.
yeah, because he goes, wait a minute, I remember that book. It was fell down behind my unit. Maybe it's done the same thing there. And lo and behold, they find the record.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, we found it. And everyone else is sad because they thought they'd never find it. And then they found it. And it's like, we found it. All right, let's play it.
I was genuinely happy when they found that record.
Yeah, I was generally upset. Not when they found the
Oh,
record.
I'm about to be angry.
Yeah,
Uh,
this
like
is
Cherry goes to get the cable to help wire up the record
correct.
player that
Yeah.
Japan's setting up for Mr. Fujiyama.
Hmm.
They've gathered everyone to listen to the record. Uh, Smile is out the back talking to Cherry about going
The
to
fireworks show.
fireworks, and they kind of like he offhandedly maybe says yes in a sort of roundabout way, uh, or like maybe we could talk about this, and then kind of runs back in.
Yeah, he
So
says,
she's
"Let's
pretty
go,"
happy about it.
type thing,
Yeah,
and runs inside, as in like, "Let's go inside and play this record."
play this
But
record. Yeah,
more
and
and
she's like,
let's,
"Oh yeah," he said, "Let's go to the fireworks."
and then she hugs the record and exciting, and then I don't know if she bends it or if it's already bent.
No,
Just
she doesn't. She doesn't. It's already warped. The record has
yeah,
warped because it's been down the back of a fridge for God knows how long.
yeah.
But she fucking lies it flat and tries to push it back into shape. I was so angry while she was doing this. I was furious. It's
So
like,
what?
just
What?
play the warped one. Just play the warped disc. It will
Oh
be
no!
better than nothing.
Oh no! No! Would you, if your kids worked one of your records and tried to push it back into shape, how would you take that?
For the majority of them, I'm not that fussed because they're probably easily repurchased. One of them is the most expensive piece of music I've ever bought, so that one may be slightly more annoyed.
That's the one that's going to get warped, dude, and that's the one they're going to
Yeah,
go, oh shit,
that
that's
is the one that
warped.
is in a protective case and maintained at a flat in between other things, and yeah, that can't ever warp.
So
But
what
of
what
course,
what record's that?
that is the soundtrack to The Fountain.
The Fountain.
Yep,
All right, okay,
it is one of my oh no, it is my favorite pieces of music ever.
okay, okay. The Fountains, I take as a
It's good.
movie.
It is a movie, 2006 movie with 2006, 2007, starring Hugh Jackman, Rachel Weisz.
A horror movie?
No, it is
Oh,
a science fiction drama.
science fiction drama. Wow,
Yes,
I am shocked it's not a
it
horror
is.
movie.
It is a romance story told through three distinct periods of time by Hugh Jackman's character, who has drank from the fountain of youth,
Okay.
as well as his love has
Mm.
drank from the fountain of youth, and they have lived happily together for hundreds of years until she gets sick. Now, the fountain of youth will stop you from aging, but it will not stop you from getting sick.
Oh,
So she gets very, very sick, and he dedicates the remainder of her life to trying to cure her, basically ignoring her in an effort to keep her around longer and wasting the time. Like, it's this whole thing of like having time versus not having time,
yeah,
because you've thought you've had all the time, and then there's a finite amount and you squander it trying to do other things. And it then also jumps forward to the future where he is in space as a big ball, uh, in like a big force field ball hurtling through space with like a landscape with a tree in it. And he's bald and he's covered in tattoos, and yeah,
okay. Wow, that's that is something.
it's a fucking great movie.
I mean, like
Uh,
being bald and in a force field ball hurtling through space with tattoos on you.
it is
How do you
just
get there? You gotta watch the
well,
movie.
so that yeah, what in fact it's on Amazon Prime. Go and watch it. It's amazing.
All
It's
right.
uh it's not long either. Like it's just it's about 70 about 85 minutes. Um
Wow, it isn't long. It's almost as long as this movie and this
yeah, it got
podcast.
booed off the stage at the Cannes Film Festival.
Really?
Yep.
Sounds really. I thought it'd be right up their street.
It is too much so.
Too much up their street.
Personally, I think it's way ahead of its time, and I don't think people really think about the themes strongly enough. If I'm honest,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
like the first time I ever watched it was like a proper life changing experience of just like it was a really in depth, fascinating, and quite tragic story. Better than most I'd ever seen. And yeah, the soundtrack is just like next level incredible as well.
How is it so expensive though?
They do not print it.
Oh, so you bought it after print.
Uh, it was so well. Even worse was they printed like maybe I think 1,000 vinyls for the first printing. Those copies go for about £600. Uh, and I was like, I would love to pay for that, but I don't have that kind of money to pay for a record.
Yeah.
And then the company who owned the rights to do the vinyls did a repress in March this year.
Ah.
I missed the notifications for the repress. Scalpers bought up every single vinyl and put them on eBay.
Shocking. People scalping
So
in this time and age.
yeah, I ended up having to buy the least expensive one from a scalper
Man.
because I contacted the pressing company and asked them if they ever had any further intentions to do it another one, and they're like, it's really not something we're considering. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like I've waited 10 years to get it already.
Yeah.
I have the movie on HD DVD. I have the comic book that somebody made of all the artwork. I have the soundtrack on CD, and now I have the vinyl.
All right. There you go. There's the man who's heavily influenced by the movie The Fountain and wishes to
Did you watch
own.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, like
That's,
all the media.
yeah.
But yeah, seriously, like it's a total trip. Like it's absolutely worth it. Um, and it's on Amazon. I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was last time I checked.
Well, it probably is. Anyway, we should get back
Yeah.
to
So
screaming
problem
at
vinyls.
Smile for smashing the vinyl by trying to push it
Yeah.
back into shape. It's not a flexible piece of plastic. It's very
No,
brittle.
vinyls are not flexible. Not at all. You're right. They're super brittle.
It's super brittle.
And she broke that fucking record.
Almost shattered it.
I
Shattered.
was so angry.
Yeah.
Like that moment of elation at finding the record. Oh, I think we should also point out that she had shown Cherry the fact that it was double sided. Like the picture of the Sakura or whatever it was. Yeah,
Mhm.
Sakura.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I think it
Yeah.
was Sakura. She was next to cherry trees.
Yes, and on the back is the fireworks display,
Yes.
like the posters for the event.
Mm, that's right.
Yeah, she fucking shatters that record.
Yeah. Should also note that it was printed in a old factory. It's no longer there, as it's the mall.
Yes, that's right.
Uh,
Uh, that's true.
yeah. Anyway, so that kind of put a damper in the relationship between them a bit.
I couldn't.
And
I was looking up on Google how to fix a broken vinyl. That's how invested I was in trying to resolve this story. It's
trying to
like,
resolve.
how can we fix this? I'm gonna look up on Google to see if there's a way to resolve this.
Well, it's not the way Smile did it, which is with
It is
glue.
not.
That
It's just
will not
super
work.
glue.
It
I
didn't
was
work.
quite saddened by that, where she's like sticking two bits together and she's like, oh, it's working, and then like sticks another bit and it just falls away again. It's like, yeah,
Uh,
this is not. It's not how
she's
this
doing it
works.
wrong. It
She
would.
is doing it wrong. It should be flat on
I
a
mean,
flat
she
surface for one.
she was holding it in the midair and hoping the glue would keep it.
Yeah.
I obviously hadn't set that point.
You should
Anyway,
be using epoxy as well, not super glue.
yeah. See all these pro tips that we're giving you and how to fix
It's
a vinyl, but
what happens when you troll Reddit trying to fix figure out how to fix vinyls when they're broken.
how do you fix vinyl when you're broken? It's near impossible, I think, because
It
oh
is near impossible. Definitely the way she broke it, that thing is goosed.
yeah, I mean, because well, put it this way, I mean, it's all about the grooves, and you got to get them
Yeah.
lined up properly, and you can't add any extra bumps in there because that'll ruin the music.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, so they're processing the old folk daycare is also doing like a wee show at the festival, which is happening at the end
Yep.
of summer, which is the one that Smile invited Cherry to. Uh, and I don't know. There was a bit where they're walking along the field. This field comes up with a wee track in it, and they walk along it together pretty much every day because they obviously live in the same direction, or that's the way to the bus
Yeah.
stop, something like that.
Yeah.
And this scene at the end is kind of like Cherry was opening up. Essentially, he was accepting the world and being able to socialize it, and wasn't wearing his earphones or having his earphones ready to wear as much.
Yep.
So he's entering the world, as it were. But in this scene, basically, they have a conversation where I want you to come to Mr. What's his name's place, to because I want to apologize to him again.
Yeah, Mr. Fujiyama. She said she wants
Yeah,
to apologize again.
and he was like, "All right, yeah, I can come." And then she reminds him about, "Are you still coming to me the fireworks festival?" And then, "Oh no, no, it's like a day or two before it." And the mom comes in to work, uh, into work to say, "Oh, thanks for having me. It's been
Oh no,
great working
that
here."
that's after
No, no, that's
because Cherry's not because Smile's not there at that point.
no Smile is there because
No, isn't it?
she goes, "Who's that?" And he goes reluctantly, "Oh,
Oh no,
that's
you're
my
right.
mom."
But no, but you're right because she asks him if he wants to go to the thing, and he's like, "Oh, no, I'm moving instead.
Well, no,
I've known the whole summer."
yeah, no, it's she was reaffirming it because what her mother was saying. I was like, yeah, yeah, and everyone was saying, "Oh, sorry, sorry to see you leave," type thing. You're obviously moving
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
tomorrow or
right.
something like that, and she's like,
Yeah,
"What?" And then she reaffirms it and goes, "What? And how long you known?" "All summer. I just haven't been able to tell you." I think,
yeah.
and that puts a big damper on the relationship again.
Oh,
And then the scene where he slowly moves the headphones back up to the ears, and
yeah.
there's a humming noise in the world again, just kind of like Lane's humming noise,
Lain. Yeah.
and he puts the earphones on again to so he doesn't hear that humming and
D-
loses himself from the world, disconnects himself.
just she says, "I guess I'll see you later then." Is like
Yeah,
the last thing she says.
some of them
Like
was saying,
that's
yeah,
how they're gonna leave it, which seems especially sad. But
yeah, and then she goes back and apologizes to him again. And then there's another next day or something. There's some,
I think it's the moving day,
yeah.
which is the
So
day of the festival,
yeah,
ironically.
and then they're doing their dance, and oh, did Cherry? Is this her sister's actually glued the record up for her, fixed it up in a way.
They did, and so that she could give it back to Mr. Fujiyama even to hold.
Yeah,
Um,
and then one of
and
the assistants in the store looked at it I went, oh look, there's fireworks in the back. That seems familiar.
Yep. Hint, hint.
Hint, hint, and then they kind of stare up to the clock on the wall
Yep.
and went, oh here it is. Filled it off, and I was like, yeah, that's the record. And
Oh, somebody made a fucking clock out of the record.
yeah, that's been there since the
The
factory
start.
days,
Yeah.
since they closed the
Good
factory.
point.
'Cause it's shown in the
Yeah, because the
flashback.
factory, as you say, was in the mall, right?
Yeah, and one of the scenes at the start is where she's going around. Oh, these things are cute. Um, the red face things kind of look like Easter eggs.
Yeah, the little mask things. Yeah.
Yeah, can't remember what she called. And she says these are cute, and then someone in the chat goes, "No, they're not. Yeah, they're sharp." And that's on a vinyl printing press.
Yeah.
And
Um. So then, of course, all of a sudden,
they
we have this
saved.
record again.
Yeah.
Yep. But Cherry's not around
No,
anymore.
he's going to move.
He's moving. He's
So
he's dealing with the singing moving men.
see him move. Is he?
Oh, they like knock on the door. They're like, "Hello, hello," and they're like bowing. It's like, "We're here to help you," type thing.
I totally missed that.
I'm sure, like either that or I've imagined it, and I'm slowly losing my mind. But I'm pretty sure they did like a wee sing song type thing.
Well, we're all already mentioned that you're in the insane asylum from trying to understand Lain.
That is true. I'm only on day release, so
Day release. Uh, only on day release. After
only on day release.
after this episode, you'll get the straight jacket back on and carried away.
Yeah, they can take me straight back.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So then they work up like a daring plan to get Cherry back. We should also mention that there's he's made a haiku out of the buck teeth, secure in buck teeth.
This is the Sakura. What is it? Something
Hieroglyphs.
about the hiding leaves you
Mhm,
hide, the buds you hide, the leaves you hide.
mhm.
Something, something, something. Damn it!
I mean, it's like the big closing thing that he shouts top of the
It
lungs in the thing.
is. I'm gonna get it here. Um, fuck. The other one was lights in the summer night, make a false start in the evening sunset.
Hmm.
That was the previous one.
That's the one that he
Uh,
whipped off the top of his head to impress Smile.
yep. Uh, yeah, there's a great picture that I'm gonna save now of Mr. Fujiyama shouting, "Oh, well, if it isn't Cherry Boy!"
Cherry, my boy!
So good. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep that one forever. In fact, I am going to make that the episode image is him screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it?
Sakurai. Yeah.
I
Eh,
can't find it.
Anyway, um, so you post these things up, and on the Twitter, as it were, but not Twitter because it's not Twitter. Um, Posted them up. They find the record and go, "Oh, Cherry would want to hear this," and Smile has an idea and rounds up the gang. Tough Boy and Beaver and
Beaver,
Japan,
Japan.
who's manning the record deck for the
Yep,
festival.
he's spinning that shit.
Yeah, and Tough Boy and Beaver are on the motorway because they know exactly which way Cherry's going out of
There's
town.
only one way out of town.
Only one
Yep.
way out of that town, apparently. Um, and the graffiti on the sign is latest haiku or something.
I think it's telling him to turn around.
Yeah. So Smile was live, and he starts watching Smile live on his
Yep.
phone. Uh, then he notices Tough Boy giving him some big like things of over there.
A tough boy running as fast as a moving vehicle on the motorway.
Yeah. Well, it's very
Yeah.
realistic, this anime.
Yeah, but then I think he hears the music being played through
Uh,
the live stream.
I think so, yeah. And also what she says, I think, well, and
Yeah.
uh, much to the organizers' dismay because they have no idea that this is happening. Because oh shit, that's not the right music.
That's the wrong song.
Yeah, and
But since everyone's dancing, it must be okay.
yeah, everyone's dancing, and we'll keep going. Just make like it look like it was totally planned. Um, Cherry tells them to stop the car and get out because they're not just like across from the mall, or gets picked up by Beaver and Tough Boy and taken to the mall.
Yep.
Smiles hanging about, uh, and he runs by her, looking for her.
Yep.
Literally runs by her. She's in
Oh
a
yeah,
Komodo.
like just floors it past her.
Yeah.
Because actually, he's so there's a bit of a thing there where he's obviously going to see her, but he really wants to see Mr. Fujiyama as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to see him. Well, Mr. Fujiyama has a big flashback moment when he hears the song, the voice, so you get to
Yep.
see the life story of Mr. Fujiyama, where he meets his wife, soon to be wife,
Yep. And
who, who has buck
printing
teeth.
the record and owning the yeah, she is buck teeth
Yeah.
too. So,
Yeah, she has buck teeth, hence why he likes the haiku. I think he tells it to Mr. Fujiyama, and he's like, "Ah,
he does, yeah.
that's quality, my boy." Uh, and then so he has his flashback, so it's that, and shows all the images. He makes the record. He's press the record and everything. And what happens to the mall, the factory covering the mall, and stuff like that. So he's literally never left the place for like 60 years or something.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, and then Cherry runs up to the top and gets handed a mic, and he starts quoting his latest haiku at the top of his
Yep.
lungs.
Goes for it.
And then they kind of like get back in the way of things. They all forgiven each other because they've worked their ways out.
Yep. And that's sort of the end, really.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I'm sure Cherry still leaves to go somewhere else, but I
It's
think
a better ending than the alternative.
what's the alternative? Was the alternative Cherry goes on a murderous rampageous murdering spree?
Let's just say yes. So,
Okay,
what did you think of this film?
I liked it. I liked the coloring of it. I liked the
Mm-hmm.
pastel bright colors fitting to the name because that was something. Words bubble up like soda pop was a haiku he did or something. I think it was part of that the ending haiku.
It was, yeah. It was like his final words. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh, he said the name of the movie.
he said the name of the movie. It only took us an hour and a half. Are
But
they
we
all?
got there.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to watch it for. Click. Boop. Um, yeah. It's a heartwarming story between two people who also like each other quite a bit.
Yeah.
I can relate to Cherry in the sense that, yeah, I pretty much don't like socializing with people either. very much an introvert. Uh, Not related to Smile so much with her insecurities of the way she looks as such, but there's a lot of people like that. Never
It's
so
definitely
much.
very relatable. Uh, I definitely, when I go out and about, wear headphones for two reasons: one, to stop other people from talking to me, and two, to keep my own voice from talking to me.
Yeah, I mean that's why you wear headphones, isn't it? Just to
Oh my god, like I
zone you out.
it has been I've worn headphones walking around for maybe 23 years now.
Oh Jesus, man. Yeah, I generally if I know I'm going anywhere in a long place, I'll stick some headphones in. But I
Yeah.
don't wear big chunky ones like the ones that we're
Oh,
wearing
I've
now.
got that's mine here. You can
Yeah,
see, but very small.
yeah. So no one really knows that you're there because I have had to have people talking to me with my those earbuds in. And I'm
Oh,
like,
I have them
yeah,
up
I
so
got
high that I
earbuds.
just walk past people. It's like I don't even notice that they're trying to gesture.
I should have walked past that one person, that drunken guy that I met who was talking to me for some reason. I can't remember what he asked. Uh, and then that one time when I wasn't there wearing earbuds and mate went to a store to buy like some juice. He's like, "Oh, I'm going in here to buy some juice," and then this guy with a golf club comes up to me and goes, "Hey mate, do you want to go into that store and distract the storekeeper while I go and nab some of that juice that's right this out the door?" I was like, "No, I can't go in. I'm eating this pasta. I'm eating. I'm not going in." It's like, "Oh, go on, mate." And I was like, "Dude, my mate's in there doing it right now. You could have just huckled in there straight away and done that."
Oh my god, that's the best excuse ever. It's like I'm so sorry. Like I can't help you commit a crime because in doing that I would have to commit the crime of eating in the store, and you're not allowed to do that.
No, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to eat. Like, that courtesy doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. It's been taught to people. You don't eat in stores. Don't put your greasy fingers all over product.
Tut tut
I see that all the time.
tut tut. So
Even
I
especially in Tesco's.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I'll
the
defeat
fucking
that. I'm
monsters
I'm
that hang
buying
about
that.
Tesco's.
Yeah. All right.
It's not a buffet.
No, it's not a buffet. Not a buffet.
I've definitely given a child a piece of food that I'm about to buy to shut them up while I've been in a supermarket.
Terrible. At the
Yeah,
at the at the
yeah,
counter.
no, like halfway through, it's like, please be quiet. Please, just I'm going to open this multi pack of things that we're going to buy. I need you to eat one of them and be quiet.
You're a good parent.
Yeah, yeah, I am. Um, Definitely don't worry about that. I really like this movie.
It's good. It's a good movie. I do
Yeah,
like it.
it's very cute. It's very funny. Um, Very believable. Very relatable. Um, and like sort of very slice of life in a way that's just easy to get on board with. Like there's no barrier to entry in this at all. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing to suspend your disbelief about. It just kind of goes.
Yeah, it's not deep in it's very light, like
Yeah,
soda pop.
it's yeah. It's not a shallow movie. Like it explores a lot of nice themes and
Mhm.
characterizations, but in terms of the story, it chugs along without any effort.
Yeah, you could literally blink and miss a lot of things. There's
Yeah,
depth in it. It's more was more about a story how people are overcoming their fears of the world. Because at the end of the
yeah,
movie, we kind of missed out the whole end of the movie. Smile finally and totally
Takes off
got
her
to,
mask.
yeah, totally didn't go into the full discussion of why she doesn't like her buck teeth anymore, because she doesn't really like it, but it's more just become a teenager and has stopped liking the way she looks, and her older sister's like that.
Yeah,
I've been there.
that's right. Like she mentions that right at the start. It's like this is the thing that happens. This is not exclusive to you.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like you don't have to feel like you are alone in this. Every teenager goes through this exact same thing where they're like, "Oh Lord, what is this?"
yeah. And the younger sister's like, really? Oh shit.
But yeah, I like this movie. I thought the characters were really good, um,
Mhm.
and it was not a taxing or sad story to any extent. It was just nice and happy. So
Yeah, it's a good, happy-go-lucky movie.
perfect distraction from serial experiments lane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, compared to compare Serial Experiments Lane to this movie in colors, shades. Serial Experiments Lane is like the darkest dark you can think of, where this is like the lightest light.
It's weirdly Lane exists across the spectrum. It has some of the brightest brights.
I don't know, man. I think every episode is fucking deep as shit. Like,
Oh, yes. Like each episode is an emotional roller coaster in itself.
yeah, but
None of that here. This is the equivalent of the kiddie ride at the fair. To Lane's like fucking double loop de loop back while you're going backwards upside down mess.
on your back or front or
Yeah,
hanging facing down to the
just
ground so you see it all.
any which way but seated.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good movie. Thoroughly recommend it. It's on Netflix. If you've got Netflix, go and watch it. Um,
The Netflix original.
yeah, so it should be on there for a good long time
Yeah.
until they realize it's
Um.
not original and don't want it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna get there one day.
I do
So.
have one criticism of the film,
Uh huh.
and it's something that I watch it, but I don't really go with it. It's all done 3D modeling. It wasn't
Um.
drawn. You can see that in like Mr. Fury face at the start. That's definitely was a 3D kind of like model look. And when they climb up to the roof for the first time, it was like you're playing a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. It
Uh,
was that sort of first person camera.
yeah,
It reminded me a lot of like a visual novel.
yeah. One of those games like Myst or something. You click up this ladder, but then Myst was just a sequence of pictures, if I
Yeah. It's
remember.
more like Danganronpa or something like that.
Yeah, it's not. I like the style in the color palette way, but the
Yeah.
drawing's alright. It looks actually pretty good, and they're up in the game. But
Yeah.
I just don't get fully behind the 3D models.
It's tough because I actually think the thing that gives it away is not the still image, but the motion. Like
Definitely the motion.
for me, because there was a big thing about I haven't watched Attack on Titan. I've read bits of it, but they changed the Titans from hand drawn characters to 3D models.
Oh, did they? Oh,
Hmm.
because I only watched the first season. And there are,
They did that, I think, in season three. I want to say,
yeah,
and there are benefits to it because things like scale are easier because you have a
mhm,
model that you're moving about.
yeah.
Like scale is relatable to the other areas you're moving around in.
Did
Whereas
they?
if you're hand drawing things, it's much more complicated.
I don't know. I still thought that maybe the jumping around, because you know how they use their like grappling whip
The
jet
jet
propulsion things.
that's hand drawn.
Is that hand drawn? Because I felt to me like that was
The
computerized.
environments are 3D. The
Oh, that'll be
movement is
wise.
hand
Yeah,
drawn.
yeah, yeah.
So
Because
if you look at the characters, you'll notice like their foot is enormous in front of the camera. Like and that wouldn't be that way when you're doing scaling of a 3D model, because it would just be like you're just with hand drawn stuff. You're giving a sense of motion.
uh,
Whereas you don't need to do that with 3D because you have an exact rig that you can move around and make it manipulate and do whatever you want. Whereas with hand drawn stuff, you have to give that sense of motion
yeah,
through that. So yeah, I think what they did was is they 3D rendered the city and had the movement done, because the
mm,
camera work I think is too difficult to do in
yeah.
in
There's
in
it's
in,
a
in
lot of work
drawn.
to
Well,
do.
I mean, not too difficult. It would have been a lot of work, like
Yeah,
a lot of work.
it's like did you watch the Animatrix like when it came
Yes.
out? And I think there's
Yeah.
a scene. It's the one where it's the athlete breaks through like the barrier, and there's a
Yeah.
scene where they throw the key, which is like a cross-shaped key at him, and I think that's actually drawn by hand.
Oh wow.
That looked like it would just be a perfect 3D model because it was early. I suppose it was pretty early computer modeling cartoons at the time. It was
Yeah.
2006 ish,
Well, I think like
maybe earlier.
so the computer animation for the very first time in a Disney movie, I think was 1986.
That Toy Story or
No, that's 1996.
1996, yeah.
But no, but like any element of 3D being generated, and I believe it was 1986 because it's Basil the Great Mouse Detective. There's a
All right.
scene at the end in the clock tower in around Big Ben.
Uh-huh.
The gear mechanism is done using 3D renders.
Yeah. Wow. That must have been a beast of a machine back then to do that.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I think the first movie to use full CG was 1982 or even earlier.
Was
Because
it?
like Tron was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Tron is
Yeah.
1982, but there's uh hang on, Young Sherlock Holmes
Young Sherlock Holmes.
uh includes the first fully computer generated character in a film, 1985.
Oh Jesus. Wow. Yeah.
So they were, but I think the guys who did, like I watch a series on YouTube called Corridor Crew, and they do special effects and things like that, and they do animation and stunts and all this stuff,
Mm.
and they talk about them. And one of the things they talked about was that I think the people who did The Abyss,
Yeah, yeah.
the
That's
James
just
Cameron movie,
same guys did the Jurassic Park, I believe.
well, they went on to make Adobe, I think, or something like that.
Well, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, there's actually the movies. What's the show about the toys? The toys that made us. The movies
The
that made
toys that
us.
made us, the movies that I haven't watched the movies that made us actually.
They did one in Jurassic Park. And we're just
Yeah,
talking
in
about.
fact, were you not saying it's like the episode's an 18?
Oh, no, I don't think I said that. What's
I thought
that
you said
about?
that. I thought you said the episode was an 18, but the movie's only a PG.
That might be Craig.
Oh,
Or,
okay.
or mate, watched at the same time. But yeah, it was basically Spielberg was on this thing. It was like, oh yeah, I want this, and so you got like the stop motion dude in, and then like this other guy is kind of like jumped in. And it's like, oh, I could do that in three computer, and they were like, no, no, don't go against this guy. He'll end you, type thing. And he's like, okay, I won't, and then went and did it anyway, and then like plotted a meeting with like the producer or director of the show, and it's like,
Yeah.
here's a skeleton model of a Tyrannosaurus Rex walking in 3D, and they were like, holy shit, we got to have that. And he's like hijacked the whole movie and got him put this like the dinosaurs in. And it's still kind of, they blended it in pretty well and it still holds up today. It's
I think the way I
done
think they,
top
they talk about that
class.
in Corridor Crew as well, because they talk about the fact that they did not use a lot, like in the daytime. It's very simple long shots or up close, in which case it's puppets, but further away, it's CGI, so it's more difficult to tell. But then at night, it's a combination of CGI and puppets, and because it's at night, the lighting is much easier to deal with.
Yeah.
So they were just really, really clever about how they did their shots.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And was it was it the camera? Was it Spielberg in the camera man? He got said, "Oh, you know what to do to mask things up is like put a camera shaking type thing." And
oh,
he's like,
really?
"Yeah," and he's like, "Wait, what? The thing I've been told not to do for like the last 10 years of my life is producing movies. I get to do that? Woo, what times?"
Sweet.
Anyway,
Oh man, I
like,
should probably go and watch that.
yeah, digressed a
But
bit.
yes, people should watch Words Bubble Up like Soda Pop. I think it's a fun. To me, it's sort of a Sunday afternoon movie, like just
Yeah,
a super chill, relax and watch. Um, so yeah, I think that's us. That's our palate cleanser. And next, have we discussed what we're gonna do next? I don't think we
um,
have.
no, but we are doing. See you later, Space Cowboy. There's a hint. Until next time,
Yep.
this has
Ah,
been Who's That Anime?
got to do our outro. Got to do our outro.
Oh, yeah, do it to you, that's true.
Oh,
I,
I was a fuck. Okay.
just throwing your paper in the
Yeah.
air out of the gust.
Yeah. So you've been listening to Who's That Anime, a podcast about anime. We can be found where all good podcasts can be found: Spotify, Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, Apple Podcast. We can be found at anchor.fm// Who's That Anime. If you wanted to leave a review on any of your podcatching software, that'd be really cool. Or if you don't want to do that, even just tell a friend, recommend, that'd be awesome. We can be found at facebook.com// Who's That Anime, where we post about when our new episodes are coming live, new videos are going up, and sometimes just about random Facebook memes for anime and things like that too. Colin likes to play some video games, was in
I do.
fact playing video games not that long ago on twitch.tv/Couch Fuel. I believe you were playing Sable last night.
It was Sable. It's pretty cool. I like it. Cell shaded.
It looks gorgeous.
It does. It was the two games. I think they're both announced in the same year. It was like Biomutant, which I played, came out at the start of the year, and it's all right. It would probably be better if I had a machine that did 4K, but
Mm.
I don't. Um, Great kind of game. Very opened and very like, oh, go and do this, do that, kill some guys, explore the world. Sable, I've only kind of just finished like the starter bit, so I just got out of the main part. But it's meant to be open world. You get to cruise around a desert planet, as far as I know, so far, in a nice sand glider thing, which is going to be super cool.
That looks
I might,
cool.
yeah, I might be playing it again at some point. We'll see if I get time. I'll,
Cool. And you
yeah,
can find an archive of all that stuff at youtube.com by looking for Couch Fuel too.
yeah. Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
it
Yourself?
is it's the spooky month. We're in October, so I might at some point stream some horror games. Hopefully, I do that sometimes at twitch.tv/Hail Payman. You can find an archive of all my stuff at Hail Payman on YouTube too. Um, is that everything?
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I think we're good.
Yeah. Cool. All right, man. Well, like I say, this has been Who's That Anime? We've watched Words Built Like Soda Pop, highly recommended, and we told you pretty much everything you need to know, except from we haven't. There's other things in there.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff in there.
that you should watch and enjoy. It's a nice, bubbly movie,
Yep.
and good for all the family. None of this swearing that we
Yes,
do.
it's a you.
It is a you. It's
Yep.
literally good for all the family.
Yep.
Nothing scary. Except from when you break the goddamn record.
That's just anger.
That's just anger. Your parents will be angry if you're listening to this and you're underage. Anyway,
Yes.
with that
So we'll be back.
said, we'll be back next week with Cowboy Bebop. Spoiled
Yep.
it now.
Season 5 of Who's That Anime will be in full swing.
Oh god.
We've decided, or well, I suppose I asked because it was Colin's turn to choose, but I asked if we could do this one for two reasons. One, because there's the new Netflix live action show that actually looks pretty sweet. I think it looks pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, by the looks of things, have captured a lot stylistically,
Yeah.
which is good. And also, I've never seen it. I've never seen Cowboy Bebop.
I've watched it through once. Was watching it on CNX back in the day. Anyway,
Wow. So heavily edited versions, probably.
yeah, I never finished watching that series. I kind of got disturbed, but I'll tell you about it. But I don't know why. It wasn't. Also, just my frame of mind at the time when I watched it.
Joyous. We will return, and we will see you next time on Who's That Anime.
Peace out, people.
See you, Space Cowboy.
See you, Space Cowboy.